Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Circle Up and Get Real, where we talk about things that matter with people who matter. This is the recording I'm doing live on Facebook, and as we get started, every time I do a podcast episode, which by the way I forgot to do last week, I apologize to all of those people who are out there going, "Where was last week's podcast?" I apologize. I just forgot to do one, and I don't have scheduled guests for the next couple of weeks, so they will be just my thoughts, as is, the rule for probably about half of my podcast recordings. It's just me having ideas about things, and today that's what I want to share. I have ideas about number one, my new book. So I'm going to share some ideas about that. I'm going to share what I'm up to, and also some of the work that I've been doing with my mentor to help me actually experience, achieve, and attract what I truly desire. I know that sounds so easy. It is. Well, I'll say it's simple, not always easy, because we kind of know what to do to attract the things we say we want in our lives, but we don't always do what it takes. So I want to talk a little bit about that as well today. So to start, I want to share with you the possible cover of my new book, which I'm hoping to have ready to go by Thanksgiving. So today I'm recording this on October 22nd, so in a month. I'm hopeful that you can actually get the book on Amazon or wherever you get books, local bookstores. And it's called this. If you're watching on the video, you can see that there is a word in the title that I wouldn't normally use. If you're listening on the podcast, I'll let you know that that word is SH. What is that? Ampersand? No, what is that? Asterisk? Yeah, SH asterisk T. So just give a sh, and it ends with a T. And I will do my best not to be vulgar and use language that I don't normally use. But I think that is what we need to really be talking about lately, because I guess it's sensationalism that gets people to pay attention. I'm not one to use language just to get people to pay attention. That's just not how I roll. However, this is a really important topic to me. And it's really, really important to me that people start caring and showing empathy and care about something or someone, and learn about what compassion is and what it can do for the world. And that's important to me because I want to live in that kind of world. And that's why I'm writing this book right now. It really is so simple. I'm not saying it's easy, I'm saying it's simple. It's simple. Just give a shh. I'm going to just say it, and I might get censored by the whoever censors things, but the word is not a terrible word. It's just one of the only words that I use when I get So just give a shit. Give a shit about something. That's the book. That's what it's going to be. Find something that you care about. Because what's the opposite? To not give a shit? I think that's where we end up a lot of times if we don't have something we're passionate about, or something that propels us forward, or something that draws us into the future. And so that's what the book is going to be about. And I talked to a designer today, my friend Brenda, who I'm hopeful will be the designer for the book. I'm sending it to an editor. It's ready to go in all those steps that need to go before it can actually come out as an actual book. So we're getting close, and I will do everything in my power to give you action items and steps that you can take so that you don't just talk about stuff, but you actually do something. I'm tired of only thinking things are a good idea and then not actually experiencing the effects of those good ideas because I only thought about them. And as a coach and a consultant working with clients, I can give you all kinds of great ideas, but you have to do something with them. And it's fascinating to me how much of a hamster wheel we're all on, and we come back around at the next coaching session or at the next whatever time we get together, and we go, oh yeah, that's right, that was a great idea. And now it's a week later or a month later or 6 months later or a year later, and oh yeah, that's right, that was a good idea, and it went somewhere else because I or someone else wasn't either prepared or willing to do something about it. The people in my office, I share office space with Rachel and Anita, another company, and we're reading Big Magic. I've read it before by Liz Gilbert, and it's such a great reminder that ideas are really things. They really come into the world to be born because they're things, right? They just need to be born into the world. And if we don't do something with an idea we get, then it just doesn't have a place to go. And it'll go to the next person who's willing to do something with it. And so all of this put together into a concrete form is what I intend this book to be. And the book will be in form. I've written many books. They're in form. I have no problem writing books and publishing books because I need to get things out. This book has been sitting here. It's been since 2019 since I've written my last book. So this one's ready to be born. And it will be something you can hold. It will be something that if you decide to take action about it, it will make a difference. But if you decide not to, because it's like that hamster wheel that comes back around again and goes, oh yeah, that's right. I had that idea and I didn't do anything with it, then the book will not even be worth the paper it's written on. No books will. I mean, no videos, no podcasts. If they just stay in the idea form, then the world never has an opportunity to experience itself differently. And right now, what are we at? 2 weeks until the election? We need something to shift. And in my opinion, that's our mindset. That's the way we see the world. That's being open to learning something, because otherwise we stay in our silos and we just fight each other and we get really mad at the people who don't see the world the way we do. We have no experience having dialogues that bring people together. I've talked about this so much on this podcast. I apologize if you are hearing this again and again and again. And it just is such an important message. It doesn't work to beat people over the head with a policy or with an idea even, because what does that change? If nothing has changed, then nobody has learned. And if we don't learn something from the past, we're destined to relive it. We had a conversation yesterday in the Enlightened Leadership Lab about going back to the past and trying to relive it, or allowing our future to pull us into a new expression, a new way of seeing things. You've probably heard people say nothing's new in the world, everything's already been invented or talked about or discovered. Okay, you will find evidence to prove that that's true, because that's what you're looking for, and you'll find evidence to prove it because it's there. I am much more interested in emergent conversations that haven't before been stated in that exact way, because we individually have not always allowed our creativity to be part of it. And if we're trying to do something that somebody else told us to do, then we're living in the past. We're not allowing the future to pull us. And to me, that's so crucial, because in a new awareness, everything's possible. And I'm much more interested in possibilities. So this book that I'm writing, I just met with Brenda and we were talking about the how-tos and the now what's and all of the things that will be in this book, and there will be steps and there will be, but you have to do something with them. I can give you all kinds of ideas, but if you don't do something, it won't matter. So she suggested that I make a card deck, a 52 card deck, one for each week, and have people pull a card with a really short, simple action to take. You know what? I'm willing to do whatever it takes right now, because I'm so tired of watching the world around me stay stagnant. And I understand that I need to be what I want to be in the world. I need to be the change I want to be in the world before I can become what I say I want. I need to be before I can become. So put that, if you're working on your health, you need to be healthy before you can become healthy, meaning in your mind, you have to see yourself already healthy. If you want to be rich, be wealthy, whatever, you have to be it before you can become it, because that's how this stuff works. Be it in your mind before you become it. I have to be an author. If I had a desire to be a best-selling New York Times author, which I don't, that's not it's just not in me to have that be what I, am pulled into. I want to write this book so that I have something to give somebody to think about. Because for me, what I truly desire is dialogue that propels all of us into a future that we haven't yet experienced. That's what I want. So, in order for that to happen for me, I'm writing a book that I will share with people who might want to share in that with me. Don't buy this book if you don't want to change, because you're not the audience. So I don't see myself as a New York Times best-selling author. That's not the kind of book this is. I do see myself handing out the book or selling it at the back of the room when I do speeches or presentations or facilitations, because if somebody's exchanging money for some of these ideas, that's a great process. That's a great prospect for me. I'm a capitalist. I want to make some money. I'd love to make a bunch of money on this book. Okay, I'm just going to say that right there. I'd love you to buy it. I'd love you to exchange money for the ideas. And so I have to see myself as already being an author who is, I'm seeing it in my mind right now, who is exchanging money with someone for this book. I'm seeing it in my mind. I am being an author before I become one. Be what you truly desire before and until you become that. And I see us in this world where we have so many excuses for not doing the things we say we want to do, for not being the people we say we want to be, because we are letting our excuses keep us from moving in a different direction. And fine, I have no problem with your life if you are seeing it from a victim mentality. But I couldn't, but I can't. Poor me. This always happens to me. I get it. You're not my audience. There is another way to ponder these things, to wonder about them. And if you're ready to do that, then maybe you're my people. Maybe we together can create a future we actually want to live into and not be stuck in the old way of going back to when it was X, when we had this, the good old days, when we listened to the oldies and we had malts at the malt shop. I mean, I get that that's really romantic and really cool to think about the time when, mom was home and dad was at work and we had one car. And I get it. It's very cool to watch Happy Days and, watch those things. But that's not reality. We have changed and shifted as a society, as a country. And if we want to go back to that, we're actually fighting against reality. And so if we find something that each of us individually gives a shit about, find something, and then we can share that with each other and go, this is what's important to me. And if somebody else says, this is what's important to me, we're collectively putting our energy together towards something we do desire instead of only ever fighting against what we don't. And right now we find that everywhere. We're completely saying the same things, people in America who are fighting politically. We're saying the same things. We're just saying it about the other side. And it's fascinating to me how we can fight about the media. We can fight about whatever. The media is paid by blah, blah, blah. Whatever. So watch the other media for a day. Do something different. If you're on one side, watch the other media. I guarantee you're going to hear things that you didn't know, because if you're only watching one source, you're never going to see the whole picture, ever. If you agree that the media is here to sell stuff, to get rich, to make the owners of the media more and more, rich, I suppose, powerful, in control, well, then watch the other media and see what's happening on the other side. But no, we don't want to do that, because what would happen if I learned something? Oh my gosh, what if I learned something? Then what? I'd have to change my mind. And I've made my identity be, I believe this. And I either give a shit about my side or I don't give a shit about your side. And I think that's where we find ourselves right now. By the way, I could be completely wrong about this, and I am willing and happy to admit that I was wrong. Please, please, please show me how I'm wrong about this, because I am open to learning. I do my best to stay open to learning, because if I fall into that space of being more committed to being right than being open, then I go unconscious. And I'm really doing my best to stay conscious because I understand that there are questions I need to ask myself, before I know what action to take. Because otherwise, what? It's like driving your car around without a destination. You're just wasting gas and wasting time going in circles. So what do I really truly want? What do I really truly desire? What is the outcome when I'm being before I become? What is that? What does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Put myself in the space of already having achieved or experienced or acquired whatever it is I truly desire. And that's an inside job, right? That's an inside job. I can project myself 2 weeks. Let's go 2 weeks in a day. Well, probably let's go 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today, when the election is over, things are, hopefully figured out by then. Who am I being in that world that I don't know? Which side will win, which will come out? I don't know yet right now. I can't control that. I can't control the world. I don't aspire to control the world. I need to be in charge of me. So who do I become in spite of whatever the world is trying to pull me to be? I be what? Happy, contented, excited, informed? What? What do I be? I be that now before I become it in real life. And so what do I want? What do I really truly want? My mentor James is having me write those things down. What do I really truly want? I've talked forever about wanting to live in a different part of the United States for an extended period of time. Maybe not making a permanent switch, but experiencing things. I want to be in a community for a while, a month, 2 months. I had an opportunity in 2015 to travel the United States teaching a class for Keller Williams, where I was employed at the time. Actually, I was just coming out of being a team leader. And I met so many amazing people from San Diego to Connecticut and a lot of places in between. And it was such a fun experience for me. And I love that. I love meeting new people. That fills me with joy, and it enlivens me. So I've talked about this forever, but have I ever really taken action to do it, or am I just a big talker? So I have to ask myself, to what am I really committed? Because wanting something and being committed to it are two completely different things. I want it to just happen. I don't want to have to work for it. I just want it to happen, is kind of the way I've probably been a lot of my life. But if I'm committed, I will do whatever it takes without violating the rights of others, for sure. Even when the emotion I set it in or thought about it in wears off, because the emotion will. We can get all excited about stuff, and you go to a concert or you go to a game or something, and you're like, oh my gosh, that was so awesome, I'm so excited. And then you walk out of the venue and you go, back to the grind, back to real life. And we get on these highs, and then we allow the lows to pull us back down, and we say, well, that's not reality. That could never happen. And we allow our energy to be drained from us instead of finding those situations that we can replenish. And doing something, actually taking action toward what we truly do desire. And I find it fascinating that so few people have a list of what that is. What do you truly desire? So that's the first question. You need to know, do I just want it? Am I just interested in it? Or am I committed? Number one. Number two is, so what are you doing to get that? What is it that you are taking action on to get you closer to that goal, dream, vision, whatever it is? And if you're not doing anything, then question 3 should be pretty evident. Question 3 is, how's it working? How is what you're currently doing working to get you what you say you want? Because if it's not working, don't do more of it. That's insanity. Einstein told us that, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity. And we're insane. Many of us, we're insane because we keep doing the same thing over. I lost my keys. They're always here. Where are they? You look all over the house. You come back to that place. They're not, but they should be there. And you go around looking again and you come back to that same spot. That's insanity. They're not there. Get that in your head and in your heart and in your soul. Something needs to change if you want a different outcome. And by the way, when I say you in this podcast today, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me too. You is all of us. Jody, you need to do this too. Here's the thing. If you want a different result, you got to take different action. I don't know how to make it any easier than that, but here's a secret. Here's a secret that James and I are working on. If we really truly believe in the power of, let's say, spirit or a higher power, or I call it God in my mind. But if we truly believe in that and we have faith in something we can't yet see, then we don't have to have all the details figured out. That's not our place. You could call it the universe. The universe conspires on your behalf once you make a decision. That Emerson said that. That is one of the premises of the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. If you read that book, that's what it's about. If you have a vision or a dream or a desire or something that is not leaving you alone, that needs to be born in you and through you, then the universe will conspire on your behalf, as long as you're not violating the rights of other people or the earth or the world. It has to be born. And if you don't take the action to allow it to be born, it will go somewhere else. And then you can't be mad at whoever takes your idea and does something with it, because you didn't. Nothing will change in any of our lives unless we change the way we look at it. Wayne Dyer, thank you very much. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. But looking at something from the same perspective forever and ever and ever, and complaining about how bad it is or how stupid that person is or that side is, doesn't change anything. It'll dig your heels in deeper and deeper and deeper, and you'll recognize that you are unconscious because you're more committed to being right than you are to learning. And that can be a rude awakening for some of us. But that's the beginning, where, like Marianne Williamson says, the light will enter at the slightest invitation, and sometimes that's when your head breaks open. So sometimes you need your head to crack open in order to have the light come in. And the light to me is higher awareness, God. To me, that's what God is guiding me to do. And to be in conversations like this, and to be around people who are willing to do the things they need to do so that they can experience the things they truly desire. If we don't do something different, we can't expect something different. It's so obvious to me. And when I get frustrated and upset, it's because I'm either denying that or ignoring that, or trying desperately to hang on to something so I don't have to change my mind and my perspective. And all that gets me is more frustration. So really, frustration and upset are gifts. Because to me, when I feel upset or frustrated about something, I can change my mind about it. I have 100% opportunity to change my mind about things. And in that space, politics, religion, all these things you're not supposed to talk about, in that space of knowing I have 100% control and responsibility for my thoughts, oh, it's so freeing. Oh my gosh, I don't have to stay in the space of heaviness and people making me or trying to make me do things, because I get to choose. I get to choose. I don't have to do anything. I get to choose to do things. And when I choose to do things toward what I do desire instead of away from what I don't, oh my gosh, the world opens up to possibility. So this book, going back to my book, right? I'm seeing it. I'm being the author who's holding the book before I become it. And I'm seeing it. I met with Brenda, meeting with the editor. It'll be either 6x6 or 8x8 square. And if you want to write a book, I would suggest you create a fake book cover, because then at least you're working towards something. You're like, here's the thing. Here's what it's going to be. It's maybe not that in real life in tangible terms yet, but it will be. And here it is. Here's the manuscript. Here are the pages of it that are close to being born. because it's so crucial that you find something you care deeply about and then take action toward it. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. If you on purpose say, I give a shit about this, I care about this, that's where the world will start to shift for you. And I care deeply about dialogue, which is suspending previous assumptions in order to learn from each other. I care deeply about that. And sometimes I have trouble finding the people who want to engage in that kind of conversation. They'll tell me, you talk too much, you think too much, you write too long. For what? Compared to what? I write too long compared to what? You don't have time to read it, so I write too long for you. Well, does that mean I need to change who I'm being because it doesn't fit with you? Or do I just keep being who I'm being? Do I get real about this stuff, get real about who I am, and then attract to me the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people? What if? What if that's the way it works best? And I find that my people are out there. They just don't know that they're my people. Somebody's got to go first. Somebody's got to be that leader. Somebody's got to have those conversations. Somebody's got to be committed to that. That's me. I'm going first. I'm committed to that. I will have conversations with you that will make you squirm and will make you think and will make you uncomfortable. And you'll do the same for me because you'll ask me those same questions too. And I won't know the answers either. And in the space of caring, compassion, empathy, we together can make so much progress toward what we do desire. In this case, a world where people are respected, they are seen as humans, not as objects, where we together can do way more than any of us could do on our own. That's the world I plan on living into, that I will live into because it's the vision I have. It's the future pulling me into that. And despite what happens with the election coming up in the United States, I have a vision of living in the world where those people, even if it's a small percentage, those people in the United States who want to have these kinds of conversations will find each other. I see it. I'm being it before I become it. And I hope this has inspired you to just think about something a little bit differently. And then the book will be out soon and you can read about how to take action. There will be other tools that I'm kicking around because if you tell me I don't know how to do this, I'm going to say, here are 10 ways. Here are 10 ideas. I'm going to give you ideas. I can't make you do them. You will resist that. Anybody will resist feeling forced to do something. So I'm going to give you so many thoughts, so many ideas that I hope one of them will inspire you so that you can't not take action. You deserve to live the life of your dreams. We all do. And if you just stay asleep, unconscious, you'll never wake up and take the action you need to take so that those dreams can be born in and through you. I need to wake up, to become conscious, to do the things you do on purpose and with purpose. And when we do that and we take that kind of action and we move in that direction, I'm telling you, the world, the universe will conspire on our behalf. And everything we do will be for our greatest good because we have a creator who created us that way. If there's anything here that you'd like more conversation about, more dialogue about, come and join us in the Enlightened Leadership Lab on Mondays. This is what we talk about. This is why that lab exists, for these kinds of conversations. Or anything else you'd like to know more about, my website, jodibach.com, is where you can find a lot of things. But just do something this week to get real. Get real about who you really are so you stop attracting the fakeness of things and you start attracting who you want to become. So thanks for hanging in there, people who are here. Please subscribe to the podcast. Please share it if there's anything here that you like. We are on season 5. We've got more than 230 episodes. There's something for everybody here. Interviews, conversations, thought leadership. I'd appreciate your help in making this real in the world, okay? So we'll go get real, and thanks. We'll talk again.